Hi everyone, I'm TJ, this is Baby Star, and today we're doing a really exciting video. I have decided to share with you baby products that I used with Baby Star when she was a newborn, between the age of 0 and 3 months, that absolutely saved my life. I mean, these are products I either used every single day, or they were products that when I found them, I really needed some help, and they just saved the day for me. They were game changers.
What do you think, darling? Should we share with them all the stuff that helped us when you were little?
Because I knew I was having a baby as a single mother, I put a lot of time when I was pregnant into researching stuff to make this easier for me. And I found the best stuff. And a lot of it was driven by the fact that I knew I'd be doing this by myself. I wanted as much help as I could possibly have, even in the area of products. And I just really hope by sharing these with you, it will make your experience with your newborn so much easier. The very first product I'm going to share with you is one that I can guarantee most of you will never have heard of, and it won't even be on your radar as a baby product. But I'm telling you, this was a game changer for me for my whole breastfeeding journey, and actually for in the hospital when I gave birth to her. This is called the hydrant. It's a water bottle that you can use with no hands. So basically, see this blue clip? You would attach that to something. When I was in the hospital, I attached it to the hospital bed. When I got home, I attached it to something behind my bed. Let's say you hang it there, right? Let's say you were sitting in your playpen, you needed some water. Then you just go like this. I have used this lying in bed. Like when I wake up in the middle of the night, I'm really thirsty from breastfeeding. I just roll over and just sip it. And it's really easy to swallow it because you don't have to sit up and pour a drink bottle. You just suck it. And this black thing makes it that you can put it in any position and it will stay. If you take the black thing off, it's just a tube, but the black thing has wire in it. So you can bend it and make it go into whatever shape. It's absolutely brilliant. If you're breastfeeding, you don't have any hands. You just have it in your mouth and you can just hold your baby and breastfeed. And when you're breastfeeding, you're so thirsty. When I was in the hospital 4 days after I had a cesarean, and I had so many different nurses because every 6 hours there's a new nurse, every single one would come and go, "What is that water thing? That's amazing. I've got to tell all my patients about it." And it's interesting they would say that because this water bottle was designed for, quadriplegics, paraplegics, people in hospital. You can attach it to a wheelchair, you can attach it to a hospital bed, you can attach it to a push bike. If you want to attach it to your pram and sip it while you're going for a walk, you can attach it to like anything. You can touch it to your playpen like I've just done. It was just brilliant. I have used this the whole time I was in hospital. I used it pretty much every single night when I've been sleeping and waking up to breastfeed her in bed. So I highly recommend it. So the second product I want to share with you is this sound machine. It's called the Dream Egg. This sound machine was an absolute lifesaver and still is. We use it every single day. I actually have 2 of them, one in the bedroom and one in the car, because sometimes when we're out and about in the pram, I put this on, it helps her fall asleep. I use this every single time she has a nap and every single time she sleeps. I wanted a sound machine because very early I realized that this baby really responds to sounds. And there was one night where she was crying and I was at home by myself and I was Googling white noise, and there was like a YouTube clip with white noise, and I turned it on and she just went quiet. I mean, it was like a miracle. From then on, I would just, every time she was, upset or unsettled, I would turn on the white noise for a few minutes, find that YouTube clip. And after a while, I was like, this is stupid. I don't want to find YouTube clips. There's so many downsides for that. Yes, it's free and it's convenient, but they have ads. So your baby's just calmed down, suddenly an ad comes on. And also, like, if you have to take a call, or you have to look something up on your phone or send a text or look at Facebook or something, you're out of YouTube and the sound turns off. So that was a bit hopeless. And so I thought, I need something that's offline, that's not connected to the internet, not connected to Wi-Fi, that just uses batteries. It's really old school, that makes white noise. And somehow through all my research, I found this. It has ocean noises, it has lullabies, it has the sound of crickets, all sorts of things, but we use the white noise. So I'll show you what it sounds like. Ooh, you're gonna fall asleep now? You can turn it up, really loud. And what I found worked when she was really little was I would just turn it on super loud for like 10 seconds, and if you just sort of completely calm her down, she'd suddenly be like, "Oh, I'm back in the womb, oh." Because when they're in the womb, the sounds are quite loud around them and they sound exactly like white noise. So that's the theory behind it. And then because I didn't want to damage her hearing, I'd always turn it down to very quiet and leave it on for, her whole sleep or her whole nap. You can set it to go for 30 minutes or 60 minutes or 90 minutes or to play indefinitely. It also has a light which you can turn on. It's light, it's offline, there's no internet, Wi-Fi stuff. It's portable, it's small. It was a really good investment. I have used it like every single nap, every single sleep for her whole life since I bought it, and I used 2 of them. That's how good it is. So I highly recommend that. Okay, let's talk swaddles. I will tell you about the amazing swaddle that I highly recommend. But before I get onto that, I will say that when she was very, very, very little, I just used these normal, good old-fashioned muslin square swaddles. The particular brand that I liked the best, because they're just a beautiful quality, they feel really good, and they were highly recommended by everybody, is by Aiden and Anais. They come in so many beautiful patterns. And I originally just did the traditional swaddle technique with this, but when she got a little bit bigger and stronger and could kind of by the end of the night find her way out of it, at that point I started researching different ways to wrap a baby in a swaddle. And I ended up finding a technique which is a double swaddle, where you wrap it over one side and then you wrap it over the other side, and that was a bit of a game changer. So I'll put a link down below to a YouTube video I watched which taught me how to do that double swaddle. That really worked for a while, but then it got to the point where she just needed something stronger. So I then pulled out all the swaddles that I had bought when I was pregnant. I was like, I had this in a drawer of all these swaddles. I tried them all, but they all had issues. Like a lot of them, they kind of like Velcro the baby in like this. And the baby's basically in a straitjacket. Your baby has no freedom of movement. I always found myself coming back to a different type of swaddle, which is called the miracle blanket swaddle. And this is what it looks like. I don't know if you can see that. You put your baby's legs in there, you wrap that bit around the arm, you wrap that bit around the arm, and then you wrap your baby up. So like the arms get wrapped in, and then you wrap the rest of it around. It basically wraps your baby up like a little burrito, but without any Velcro, without any rigid stuff. It's all very soft. It's very soft. It's got a little bit of stretch into it. It's basically made from 100% cotton. It's a very breathable fabric, and my baby was born in the peak of the Australian summer, so it was really hot. And I found she was okay in this as long as she was just in a diaper and not wearing any clothes. It's definitely thicker than the muslin swaddle, and because it has these 2 bits that wrap around your baby's arms, then it's got the extra layer of that wrapping over. It's like the baby's well swaddled. No baby can escape from this. My baby never escaped from this, and I swaddled her until quite a late age because she loved it so much. I swaddled her until she started rolling. She started rolling at 4 months, so she was in this from about 2 months to 4 months. I just highly recommend that you get one of these, have one of these in your kit, because I can't imagine any baby that would not stay swaddled in this. And I think they're really superior to a lot of the other types of swaddles because there's no Velcro and they're very stretchy, and your baby can move their chest, they can move, they can breathe freely, but their arms stay swaddled. It's everything you want from a swaddle. It's so good. Okay, so now I'm going to move on to wraps, and I'm going to talk about carriers. I found that from 0 to 3, it was much, much better to use a material wrap rather than a structured carrier. It just means you can keep the baby really, really close. They're very soft. There's no buckles or anything hard. And for a tiny baby that doesn't weigh much, these are so good. And hands down, the one that I liked the best was called the Solly wrap. I have washed this so many times that the color has faded. It was worth it. Even though it faded, it was worth it. It is so soft. Like, it is so soft. It's made from biodegradable modal from beech trees and pulp, and it's made in the US. And it's honestly the softest, by far the softest of all the wraps. And it's a little bit stretchy. And for a small baby, it's perfect. For a bigger baby, if you were going to use a wrap, you'd need a thicker fabric that's more tough. But for a little baby, honestly, it's divine. It feels so beautiful wrapped around you. It feels so beautiful on the baby. And because I had my baby in summer, it was very hot here. This actually is quite cooling, like against your skin. It feels nice, it feels cool, and it's not too thick, so I didn't get too hot in it. Now, some people find wrap carriers challenging to learn how to put on. Obviously, there are simplified carriers out there that are made from fabric where you just pull it on like a t-shirt, wrap a piece of fabric around you. I bought 2 or 3 types of those thinking they'd be easier. To be honest, my baby just sort of sagged on me and hung off my body, whereas in this wrap, once I learned how to do it, she was always snug, really snug. You can see in the pictures. And that meant that the weight was distributed really evenly, and I couldn't even feel her. It felt like I was carrying nothing. I could have walked for hours with this baby when she was little in this. Now, when they get bigger, it's a totally different story. No carrier is going to make them feel light. They're just going to feel heavy whatever you put them in. Now, yes, there's a learning curve to learn how to do it. You can find YouTube videos to help you learn how to do it. I'll link the Solly Baby YouTube video that I watched. By the 3rd day, you're like, what was I even worrying about? Why did I think this was hard? It's really only the first day where it's confusing and you're like, oh, all that stuff. It's really only the first day. For those first 3 months, I used this every single day and I could put it on so quickly. Actually, the really good thing about a soft, light wrap like this is you can actually put it on before you leave the house if you're going out. So I would just put it on before I leave the house. I'd drive to wherever I was going. I would get out of the car. I already had the wrap on. I would just pick her up, pick Baby Star up out of the car, put her in the wrap carrier, do whatever we had to do around the shops, come back, take her out of it and sit in the car, and I could just keep it on the whole time because it was so soft. Whereas the big structured carriers, you can't really sit in them in the car because there's buckles everywhere and you're banging into the wheel. But with this, it's just like having a t-shirt on. So that's my tip, the Solly wrap, or something similar that's made from modal or Tencel or something really thin, really soft and a little bit stretchy. That's the best for a small baby. Now I want to talk about things that you can put your baby in. You know, sometimes you just need to put your baby down while you're doing the dishes or cooking or something. Okay, so the first place that I put my baby, and this is probably of everything on this list, the item I recommend the most highly, that was the most biggest lifesaver. My baby spent time in this every single day until she was 7 months old. They basically can stay in it until they can come up on their hands and knees. I had this set up in my kitchen, on a small table I have in my kitchen, and it fit the exact size on the table, and I'd be cooking or I'd be talking to people or I'd be eating and she'd be playing in there, and she took naps in there. She took at least 1 nap in there, sometimes 2 or 3 naps in the day when she was a newborn and she was sleeping all the time. So it has this mattress, which is nice, soft, but hard enough for a baby. And then you can get this waterproof thing, which you buy separately. You can just get that Amazon, and it covers the mattress. Cover your mattress with that. I'm not going to put it on now. And then you can get sheets that fit it, different colored sheets. This one had little stars on it because it's Baby Star. And then it comes with some little toys. There's quite a few little toys that it came with that you could hang from here. Baby Star loves these, even though she's no longer using the dome. She's still using the toys that came with the dome. I actually hung lots of other things on here as well as these toys, because it's fantastic. You can hang anything there. So it has this thing that you can bring up if you're going to leave your baby outside and there were insects or something, you know, it has mesh. Honestly, before she outgrew it, this was just amazing. And it's such value for money because it's not expensive, and I used it like all day, every day for 7 months. She slept in this every day for months. And I was so upset when she outgrew it. I was like, where am I going to put my baby now? Oh my God, I've got to buy something exactly like this, but bigger. And of course, I went onto Google, I researched, and I found something exactly like this, but bigger. But I'll tell you that in another video. I might make a video of best products I found for 3 to 6 months, and I'll tell you about the thing that I progressed her onto. So I just cannot recommend this enough. It saved my life. And as I said, I was bereft when she outgrew it. Okay, Baby Star is back with us. So we're going to talk about this amazing bouncer. Now, this is the only expensive item on this entire list. I don't want to say why I bought it, even though it was much more expensive than everything else. It's because I'm a single mum and I just knew I'm going to need to put my baby somewhere when I have a shower, so that I can have a shower. And I really did a lot of research, and a lot of people suggested this. And so what would happen is I would put her in it. I mean, I could put her in it now, but she's pretty big now. But you like it still? We don't use it much anymore because she likes to crawl now. She wants to be out and about moving. She doesn't like being confined. But until she was about 6 months old, she was happy to spend time in this. And you'll see in the photos that she was really tiny when I first put her in it. She was like that big. It's making me nostalgic for when you were a newborn. You were so little and cute. Now you're big and cute. Anyway, it was a godsend because I would have a shower. I would just put this in the bathroom. I could see her through the glass of the shower. She'd be sitting in it, just chilling out. When she got older, I also added this extra piece, which you can see she loves playing with. I don't think she was able to use that till maybe, I can't remember if she was 4 months or 5 months. But there's a certain point where they can start to use their hands. And at that point she used this. So I actually put this bit on my baby registry, my gift registry, because it's like $80 US just for this little piece, and I wasn't going to spend that. I thought that was ridiculous, but if someone wanted to buy it for me as a gift, I would be very grateful. And somebody gave it to me when she was old enough to start spinning it. I put it on. But before that, it's just the bouncer by itself. Look how cute she sits wrapping her ankles around each other like that. She loves doing that with her feet. It's very, very cute. So look, I recommend this highly for the single mothers if you can afford it. Or if you can get it secondhand somewhere and it's still in good condition, make sure it's still really in good condition, all the pieces. But if you have the money and you can afford it, put your baby in this. Now, it's not good for babies to spend long in these because it interferes with them developing their natural movement patterns. So I would never leave my baby in this more than 15 minutes. But if you just have to put your baby somewhere and you can't fit your big dome or your bassinet or your cot or something in your bathroom, this is perfect because you can put it anywhere. And I mainly just used it for showers. Occasionally I put her in it in our bedroom if she just wanted to sit and have a play, or sometimes if she wanted some downtime and she was all excited and she needed to just chill, I'd put her in this, I'd give her her dummy, I'd give her her special soothing toy, and she would just chill out. Highly recommend this if you can get it at a decent price.
What about this flower? What about the pink flower? It's missing out.
She's like, whatever, Mom. For the breastfeeding mamas out there, if you're breastfeeding now or you're planning to breastfeed, you probably haven't heard of this product, and it actually saved my life. It's called Lily Pads, and it's a kind of nursing pad that stops your breast leaking. So let me explain what I mean by that. So a normal nursing pad, you stick it in your bra or you stick it in your pajamas or your nightie or whatever you're wearing to bed, and at night if your breasts leak, all the milk kind of gets soaked up by these pads and they get all wet, and then you throw them out. But often if your breasts are leaking too much, it doesn't all get soaked up by those nursing pads, and so it ends up all over your clothes, all over your bed. Some women wake up completely soaked. There's not much you can do about that. I tried every kind of nursing pad in existence. None of them really made any difference. I was still getting soaked every night. And then I tried a trick. This is how desperate I was. I tried a trick that I read in some forum somewhere, that you should cut up a newborn diaper and stick it in your nursing bra or stick it in your pajamas or your whatever you're wearing, your nightie. Don't do it. It doesn't work. They fall out. They don't stick on. Like, it was just hopeless. So I kept searching. I was like going deep wet. Someone was going to say something. I knew it. And that's what happened. Somebody mentioned this product called Lily Pads, which not that many people know about. These are not nursing pads. They're not made from a sort of fibrous material that soaks up milk. They're actually like just basically a round piece of silicone. So I'll show you. These ones I've been using for like months and months and months. So they're old. They're totally destroyed. You know, they're about to be thrown out. So they don't look that clean because they're very old. But basically, it's a piece of silicone. And you literally stick it onto your boob like that and then smush it down. Now, obviously on a real boob, not fabric, it stays on. And it doesn't soak up milk. It actually stops your breasts from leaking. It's like they're plugged up, but not in a bad way. It doesn't lead to mastitis or anything. The milk can't come out. So it just doesn't. You just sleep. No milk comes out. There's no mess. You don't need nursing pads. You don't get wet. What happens is your boobs kind of get bigger and bigger and bigger until a certain point where you wake up because they're very full and they're painful. That's a much longer period of sleep than you get just from getting wet and waking up from leaking boobs. So these absolutely worked for me. And I've been using them for months and months and months, just one pair. So it's incredibly cost effective. And think how much money you spend on disposable nursing pads. You just use the same ones, but you have to be careful in how you use them so you don't get any bacteria or any dirt on them or anything. So my strategy that I did, which worked brilliantly, and they stayed in perfect condition until quite recently. And what I did was every single time I would take them off, and then I'll just go into the bathroom and just wash these in hot water and soap so they're completely clean and sterilized. And then I would usually either let them air dry if I had time, or what I eventually ended up doing, which I found much quicker, was I would just get some clean toilet paper and just dab it on to dry them. And then put it back on its thing, dry this, stick it back on its thing, put it back in its box, done. And then when I was ready to put them back on, if I was feeding my young baby, it might have been 45 minutes later, just wash my breast after breastfeeding, stick them back on, and go back to sleep. So highly recommend them for breastfeeding mothers. So Baby Star's gonna join us again for the very last product because it's one that she loves so much. If any of you ever saw my welcome video to this channel, you'll remember that I introduced us as, "Hi, I'm TJ, this is Baby Star, and this is Hedgie the Hedgehog." This thing is amazing. I have used this so much. Like right now, she's a little bit like, "I've been sitting here a long time, Mummy, I really want to go and play." So we just go, turn it on, it vibrates. We go, ooh. Magic. She doesn't want to go and play anymore. She just happy. And she loves Hedgie. Honestly, I give her pacifier a dummy, give her Hedgie, and she goes, instantly calm. It's just miraculous. So I highly recommend it. I only use the vibrating function. I don't know if you can hear it over the video, but it's going bzzz. It's basically vibrating. That's why she's happy. It's not just because she's holding a soft toy. She's got lots of soft toys, but they don't vibrate on her tummy like bzzz. It does also play lullabies and music and stuff, but I've never turned that on. I have it set to vibrate for about 5 minutes. That's usually enough. She has it on for 5 minutes, calms her down, then she just drops it and falls to the side and she's chilling out. Now she's in chill out zone or she's asleep or whatever I needed it for. So I highly recommend this. It is awesome. It's so nice, isn't it? Let me know in the comments if you've used any of these things and if you found them helpful too, or if you didn't find them helpful. I'd love to hear your opinions. Hopefully they were helpful. They've just been brilliant for me. Yeah. So that wraps it up for me and Baby Star and Hedgie the Hedgehog. I'll see you in the next video. Bye, everybody.